All right. Hello, everybody. Dr. P in the house. I thought I would go live after a somewhat long day at work. So I'm going to give everybody a minute to show up. I'm still here in Hallandale County, or Hallandale Beach in Broward County, Florida. Um, and I wanted to talk at the request of a couple of people. I actually got interviewed by the Portland Press Herald today about restaurants and what I'm recommending to my clients and things like that. And so I figured I would actually come onto Facebook and do another Facebook Live about communal food because we live in a world where we have a lot of communal food, and I teach people how to make that communal food, right? So for those of you who don't know, I'm Dr. Michelle Fanninsteel, and I run Dirigo Food Safety, and I teach people how to prepare food safely so that we can eat it. And so today I got questions based on an email that I sent my list with a whole bunch of thoughts and recommendations for food manufacturers and processors. And then I got contacted by the Portland Press Herald after they saw that email, and Meredith Goad asked me a couple of questions, and I thought I would come on live and answer them. So the questions are around who should be eating in restaurants and who should not be eating in restaurants. So here's the deal, my friends, is that you are part of the demographic population for whom coronavirus is very concerning, all right? That means if you are over 60 years old, do the community a favor, flatten the curve, and stay home, okay? There's going to be plenty of time for you to eat at restaurants later. Now is not that time, especially if you have higher risk factors like cardiovascular disease, if you have risk factors like asthma or diabetes or other things we call comorbidities. These are the things that make people sick, that you're already sick with, okay? So if you are immunosuppressed in any way, if you're any demographic where this is hitting, and it's primarily hitting people over 70. There is a bell curve of the distribution. What can I tell you? We're seeing some concerning things coming out of Italy, all right? There's a bell curve of the distribution. If you are somebody who works with populations a lot, like in close contact, like at a nursing home or whatever, now's not the time to be eating out, all right? I will tell you, now is the time to be ordering in, all right? And how you do ordering in from social distancing is you buy and pay for it online. You have people deliver it to your doorstep, all right? And you pick it up from your doorstep and you leave your tip online. This is 100% acceptable, all right? Now, the question is about the food and the questions I have been getting about the food. So, coronavirus cannot be transmitted by food, near as we can tell. That said, we know coronavirus can be transmitted by fomites, we call them, Fomites. And fomites are things, usually inanimate objects, that can carry a pathogen from one thing to another, all right? So very famous case of fomites is the ties that physicians used to wear in hospitals. They were covered in pathogens, okay? And now in most hospitals, it's like illegal for somebody to wear a tie, right? A tie is a fomite. We as veterinarians know that all our instruments can be fomites. Flies can be fomites, all right? So you can have live things as mites. COVID and coronaviruses can be carried by fomites, all right? How do we prevent that? So what is the actual, how does that actually work? Somebody who is shedding virus coughs or sneezes onto their cell phone, okay? And their cell phone is now covered in coronavirus. Somebody else picks up their cell phone, covers their hand in coronavirus, and then touches their eye or touches their mouth or their nose or whatever. Okay. And then all of a sudden the virus has a entrance into their respiratory system. That is your phone acting as a fomite. I made a video 2 days ago about how to clean your phone Everclear, people. Go get the Everclear and clean your phone with Everclear. 140 proof alcohol. All right. So in communal food settings, that means that if somebody sneezes on the sneeze guard at the supermarket, and then you touch the sneeze guard and you touch your face, you can contract viral illness. This has always been true. This remains true for coronavirus. Okay. Somebody coughs in their hand and touches a handle, you touch the handle and you touch your face, you can contract coronavirus. Okay. What is surpassingly unlikely to happen is that somebody coughs on the food and you eat the food and you get coronavirus. Respiratory oral transmission is not a thing. Okay, that is not how disease is passed. Respiratory diseases are passed from one person to the other through their respiratory tract or their mucous membranes. All right, diseases that we get from eating food tend to be from fecal oral transmission. Okay, I swear to God, I've built an entire business on the concept of don't eat the poop. All right, millions of dollars on don't eat the poop. I promise it works. That's why I made the hand washing video. Okay, so go watch the hand washing video if you haven't watched the hand washing video. All right, and so it is very unlikely that there is going to be transmission of the virus if somebody sneezes on the food and you eat the food. It's almost impossible for that to happen. I looked really hard in PubMed yesterday for instances of respiratory oral transmission of viruses, and I didn't find any. Okay, so I don't really think that happens. So there's that. All right. If you are eating in communal food settings, if you are in charge of communal food settings, hand washing. I'm not kidding when I said go watch that hand washing video many, many times. Now is the time to make sure your wait staff has really short nails. So I work for one of the largest lobster processors in the country, and they have this fabulous floor manager, their ready to eat facility. And every morning before everybody goes out on the floor, she is standing there in front of the changing facility after everybody washes their hands, and everybody does this. Okay, and she checks their hands, and she checks the length of their fingernails. My fingernails, I'm going to move them closer. My fingernails are short enough. If I hold these up, eye level, I can't see them. All right, you're much more likely to carry viruses and bacteria in long fingernails. All right, and so with that said, if you are working in a communal food setting, you still go to work because you feel healthy. Okay, and you wash your hands like 10 times a day. If you run a buffet line, you need to have one person in charge of that buffet line, and that person needs to wash their hands in sight, if possible, of your customers as frequently as they can stand it. All right. There are fast food restaurants where a bell rings every 10 to 12 minutes and everybody stops what they're doing and they wash their hands. This is a really good idea if you are serving food, okay? For anybody who comes into contact with food with the public, all right? People like I said, fast food restaurants do this irrespective of viral outbreaks, all right? So communal food is safe, all right? If you are somebody who is not in a target demographic and you did not magically learn how to cook this weekend, go out and get food. It's totally fine. If you are sick, please do not go out. Please practice social distancing. If you need to order food, have them leave it on your doorstep. All of this is predicated on the idea that there is not a reason to panic, because I promise you, panicking never makes anything better. All right? When I was, I don't know, in 6th or 7th or 8th grade or something like that, I got my first migraine headache. It hurt so much I started bawling. Okay, what does bawling do? It makes a migraine headache worse, right? When you panic, you're doing the same thing, okay? If you want to create the reality of your life being in control at any time, You have to think thoughts. You have to create the possibility for thoughts that your life is in control. I am giving you the tools of creating your life in control, and panic never, never, ever, ever helps that. Okay? So, wash your hands, keep your hands off of your face, wash your cell phones. If you are healthy, you will go out to eat. Everybody, like didn't learn, as I said to the Portland Press Herald this week, everybody didn't learn to cook this weekend. Okay, so it is still safe, all right, but practicing social distancing is still a really great idea. All right, so that's what you have. Feel free to post questions in the comments. I will put this video up on the YouTube channel so that you can share it. Thank you so much for everybody that joined me, and let me know what your questions are. Thanks, guys. Bye.